I'm Bert Enserink and I'm a teacher at the Faculty of Technology, Policy and Management, and I teach in the International Master Program that's called Engineering and Policy Analysis. And I want to share some of my experience with working with groups of international students with you, as you will probably be here next year working in an international environment, working with Dutch students, working with students with a Western background, students with an Eastern background, and probably you will run into some cultural clashes and some clashes on people having different learning styles. One of the things, for instance, is we tend to work a lot in groups, and group work is difficult. In group work you have to divide tasks, and a typical thing is that people with a Western background are more direct and maybe more aggressive in working in groups than people who come from an Eastern country. And in our cultures, especially Dutch people, we are blunt. If we don't like an assignment, or we don't like our role, or we don't agree with someone who's taking the initiative, we say, no, we don't like it, we want something else. If you're from an Eastern background, you won't say no, you will say yes, and maybe you say yes again, and by yourself think, well, this is not exactly what I want, and you won't be enthusiastic, and maybe you will even do something else. That will, of course, lead to some friction in a group when you have to work to a joint project or a joint result. So that's something you might expect to happen. And one of my advices is that try to be as open as possible about what you really want and why you want things. If you have a good argument, it's valued in the Netherlands. If you disagree, it's valued in the Netherlands, because we want to hear your opinion and we want people to learn from each other. So we need open communication. At least that's common practice in the Netherlands, and you will encounter that practice. Another thing that might occur is that we have different time perspectives. Dutch people, German people, maybe Western people in general, Americans especially, they are very keen on exact time schedules. If you have an appointment at 10 o'clock, you'll be there at 5 minutes to 10. And if you're late, if only you're 5 minutes late, people won't like it. If you're half an hour late, people surely won't like it, and they will get angry with you. And of course, in many other countries, many other parts of the world, time is relative. If you're from Indonesia or China, maybe 10 o'clock is not exactly 10 o'clock, but it can be 15 minutes or 30 minutes later. And if you're from Latin America, it can be 2 hours later. Time is something fluid, but in the Netherlands, especially, time is time. Our trains, they leave on time, and if they're 2 minutes late, we say, well, they have a delay. So, and that's the same with classes. You be in time and you be there and you will work. And Dutch people will then be happy. Strange people, Dutch people. One final thing I might say is about authority. In many countries, authority comes with age. And I'm lucky to have grey hair, so students tend to listen to me. But we also have very young teachers, very bright teachers. And sometimes a young teacher has a different opinion or different ideas than an older teacher. The young teacher might be right, but because of the grey hair, in the end I will win. But that, of course, is not the essence. The essence for us is about what is right and what is the good theory and what's the good application. And it's not age that decides on what's the right thing to do. So you should, what we want you to be is critical about all the stories you hear, whether it's from a young scientist, a PhD student, or a young professor, or it's from this old grey professor. You have to be critical on the story, because science is something that's being built in interaction, in discussion, in debate, and only through debate and through critical discussion we advance science. So that's something we do in practice. So you're allowed to disagree with your teacher. That's also may be different from your home country. We like the discussion, we like the disagreement, because that brings us new insights, and in that way we generate more knowledge. And it allows the teacher to learn from your experience. And the other way around, you learn from the teacher. So it's about open discussion, being open and direct, and that will help you a lot if you come to Delft, and I hope we can meet next year.